Hey y'all, this is Toya. You tuned in to Healthy Talks and Walks with Toya. Today we're going to be talking about being on the receiving end of rejection. There is hope. Everybody ain't for everybody. And although it's a true statement, isn't it so much easier said than lived? Easier chewed on than digested? Easier talked about than walked in? Have you ever been on the receiving end of, it's not you, it's me, or maybe we should casually not be friends? Or maybe it is you. Tell me, what would you do with these type of statements? I know, most people would say, I don't even care. And that may work for most people. Or some people may pretend until the unconfessed hurt sinks in and their heart is hardened. But if you know me, you'll know that I'm not like most people. And my heart ain't set up like that. As a matter of fact, I'll admit it hurts. But if you also know me, resilience is my middle name, and pulling the positive out of negative is going to be my claim to fame, being a motivational speaker and all. And cut back ain't cut off. And I read someplace that pruning is good for gardening, so it's growth time. And if I don't let it make me bitter, he will work it together all for my good. So, as I encourage you, I encourage myself. If you're on the receiving end of those type of statements, are you being pruned? And you're tempted to act like you don't care, stop and admit it. Even if it's just to the Father and yourself, it hurts. But cut back is not cut off. And pruning is good for gardening. So it's growth time. And if you don't let it make you bitter, he will work it together for your good. So I decided to cover on the receiving end of rejection because I feel like it's a natural part of life. And on this journey to healing, I found that, hey, rejection is going to happen, right? And we never really discussed how to really deal with it. And so I did some research, and I want to share some things that I found out with you all, and also to, of course, share how to really deal with this in a healthy way so that we can continue on in life even when we're faced with rejection, either from jobs, from people, from opportunities, and just different things that come about, okay? Okay, so the quick fact, or I guess suggestion, I found this article and there was a psychologist on there, and he said that our brains cannot differentiate between pains or rejection, so to speak. So if you stump your toe and you get turned down from a job or you get dumped, your brain says the same freaking thing. And I was like, wow, that is so mind-blowing. Like your heart still hurts. Like that's just crazy to me. So I just wanted to share that really quickly with you all. So let's get into how do we deal with rejection. So I definitely did a little bit of research. So the very first thing they say is focus on what you bring to the table, okay? Because most rejection won't leave you alone to survive by yourself, right? So if you focus on your good attributes and what somebody else may appreciate about you going forward in a different situation. So number one thing, focus on your good attributes. Focus on what you bring to the table. Okay, then the next thing is ask yourself, does it really matter? Did you know that responses to rejection is automatically? Like, that is crazy to me as well. Like, so as soon as someone says this and that, even if it's somebody you kind of been wanting to get of, or this isn't a job opportunity you didn't really want, you just put in for it on a whim, but if they turn you down, like your automatic reaction is to feel sad. So think about it, pause, think about it. Like, does it really matter? Okay, number 3 is, remember, a lot of times rejection isn't personal. So before I got this job that I'm at now, I had applied for like several jobs. I went on several interviews, like 4 or 5. And I honestly got calls back saying how great I interviewed, how they really wanted to get me, but they end up going with the internal candidate. Or they went with somebody that was already working in that position, in that building, so to speak, right? And so again, all of it isn't personal all the time, or people may just have issues on their end and them like you're perceiving that they're rejecting you because it's a problem with you, but it could be something that's going on with them as well. Okay, number 4 is choose to assume the best rather than the worst, right? We need to really retrain our minds to make allowances and not assuming the worst. Okay, because we oftentimes, the idea is to go, we don't know what's going on the other side of the situation. Like I said previously, we don't know what people have going on, what their walk of life is, unless we spend a significant amount of time with them. And so it's one of those things that naturally we want to assume that it's something negative about ourselves or just whatever, right? Or it's favoritism on the job and all of that kind of stuff or whatever, but we don't really know what's going on. So make allowances. And also too, that's generally it's more helpful and it's less painful. Like we don't need to know sometimes why something is rejecting us, why a person, why a job or whatever, because it's going to hinder us from moving on forward. Which brings me to number 5. Number 5 is get back out there. Life is for the living. And there is no opportunity, no relationship, no job that can stop you unless you let it. Okay? So I want to go to Philippians 3:13. Philippians 3:13 in the New Living Translation. And our brother Paul said, "But I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead." We cannot move forward or look forward to what lies ahead if we're stuck on this one time that somebody or something has rejected us. Okay, so get back out there. And it may be tough, but just take one step at a time. Your future is waiting on you. This is Toya. I'm signing off. Also, I had not named the poem. I hadn't named it yet. So if you can drop some names in the comments, or if you know me personally, go ahead and text me. Let me know what you think I should name the poem. I wrote it in like a day. I was so passionate about it. And so anyways, with that being said, I just feel like that we're all going to be on the receiving end of rejection at some point in time. And so we just really need to know how to deal with that. And truly, it's about admitting that it hurts for the most part. And really also, too, about just not letting it make you bitter. You learn from it and then you keep on going. So anyways, help me out. Help me name the poem.